morning, folks, or evening. I don't know when you're watching this. All right, here we go. I'm going to start showing you the gear that I've used. And again, I guess I could say I'm a avid backpacker for the last 10 years. So I've kind of been around. I've worked out a lot of gear, traded up. Usually every year I'm trading up to the latest gear. I just have, I like to stay on top of it. It's usually lighter, better functioning. So today is going to be the equipment that I use to give you, to produce these vlogs that will be coming out from this trip. And I want to show you the equipment that I'm going to be bringing. And this is usually what I bring on every trip. I am adding one new piece of equipment to my camera gear, and it's a tripod. I've never brought a real tripod because it's too heavy, and for the amount of times that you use it, usually just at camp to do a display like this, a talk. Or maybe you set up in front of a waterfall and you want to do a nice time lapse. Well, how often does that happen? Or you do an evening shot of the sunset or sunrise. So it's not a piece of equipment that you use a lot. So it's, in my mind, it just isn't. It's justified for taking a tripod if you're going out for a week or a weekend. Yeah, you can do it. But for a 6-month trip, I don't want to carry that extra weight for something or a piece of equipment that I'm just going to use occasionally. So I've been working on this for quite a while. I would say almost a year. I've been trying different things, and I came up with this idea. I'm going to show you. You might like it, and if not, that's fine. I mean, for those of you that are looking to lower your weight and you want to take a tripod for those occasional moments, here's a tip for you. I have an old tent. It's old. It's 25 years old, and I hate throwing stuff out. So it's been in the basement, and I've been scrapping pots off of it for projects here and there. And like the bungee cords that are inside the your tent poles, I've used that. I've used up just about all of that. It's great bungees for projects. And then, so I had these tent poles hanging around. I'm going to show you how I made this tripod. So I had a whole bunch of these tent poles. You know how they go, and they usually have a bungee inside. Well, you take the bungee out, and usually it's just a knot at one end. And if you can't get at the knot, sometimes you can just pull the bungee as far as you can and snip it, and then it will just recess in, and you'll just have a little tag inside the pole here, which isn't going to bother anybody. So that's how you get rid of it. So I have 6 pieces. These are about, I should have measured for you, but I don't know what they are. 18 inches here, maybe 20 inches. So I have 3 of these. For each section, I'm carrying 6. So basically, this is going to be about a 40-inch. And then with the extension for the cameras, it's going to be maybe a 40 to 46-inch tripod that's going to come in with only one section that comes in at 5 ounces. And if you add, and that's with the camera head that I'm filming off right now. And I have I took a still shot of it. I'll insert it here somewhere so you'll see the whole thing set up. So with these, each one of these is about 2 ounces. So for another section up, you're adding 6 ounces. So my whole setup, my whole tripod with the head for my camera, either the phone or the GoPro, is coming in at 11 ounces. That's like 3/4 of a pound for a tripod, a 40 to 44, 46-inch tripod. That's not too bad, and it's pretty stiff too. So what you need are 6 lengths. And if you don't have an old tent, you can go on Amazon and you can buy tent poles. Just buy a kit. And these are the aluminums. They're super, super light, old aluminum. Now they have aircraft aluminum, they have fiberglass. I don't know if I don't know if the fiberglass would work because you need the tubes in here. I would go with the aluminum because you're gonna have to cut the ends. You gotta cut off, you know, some of these tabs here. So I would highly recommend with the aluminum. Go with the aircraft aluminum. It'll be super light, probably even lighter than what I have. And then you're gonna want to go on Amazon and you want to order this mini little tripod. It's metal. 10 bucks, I think, 12 bucks, something like that for this little tiny tripod. It's a mini tripod. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in wherever, your workshop, garage, basement, front stairs, with a hacksaw. And you're going to cut off, because this is all extra weight. You don't need that. Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sliding this leg inside to the tube. And the tube's going to go right up to the bottom. So there's no sense in having all this weight in here. So you're gonna cut an inch. You're gonna leave an inch and a half, or whatever you want. I have an inch and a half. So you're gonna cut these legs. You're gonna cut these legs right here, and you're gonna discard that. Okay. Let me take off these rubbers here. Let's say that I've already cut these legs. Okay. They're an inch and a half long. You take your tent pole and they fit in there real nice. Now what you want to do is you want to get some epoxy glue. Probably what I use is the Gorilla epoxy. Get it at the hardware store. Just get a little tiny tube, $4 bucks. And you're going to just put, don't hold it like this because it's just going to run down the tube. Squeeze a good glob inside here. And then flip it upside down and slide that in. Just before you get to the end, you're going to squeeze some more of that gook in here. Then you're going to push this all the way to the end. And you're going to do that for all 3 of them. Put the glue in here. Keep it this way. Slide it on there. Leave it. Same thing here. Put the goop in there and then slide it on there. And then store it for a couple of days. I waited a week because there's so much goop in here that it takes a while for the air to dry it out and harden it. And put it on paper because it may ooze out here at the bottom a little bit, okay? And let this sit somewhere. Put it in a corner or whatever. And then that's going to be it. So now you're going to end up with a tripod. And you got a little head on here. And then what I did is on Amazon you buy the little swivel head. As you see in the photo, go back to the photo, you'll see with the little thumb screw here, and that allows you to tilt this camera any way you want once you screw on your camera, okay? Don't get the plastic one. You want to get the, this is like aluminum, it's an aluminum. It's actually, let me look at it right here. It's a small, they call it small ring. I'll take a selfie of a photo of that unit, and you go on Amazon and there's a whole bunch of them. Pick the one that you want. And you just screw that on there, and then you're all set to go. Now you can add different lengths on here, and I have 2 lengths. I put these little rubber feet. The rubber feet that came on the ends, I put it on the bottom of my lower sections. I don't know, just if you're on rock, it will help hold it on rock so the legs don't slide. If you're inside somewhere, you don't want to scratch the floor, although we're in shelters, who cares? I just put the rubbers on there. It keeps dirt from going inside the tube if you put it down on the ground. So you don't really throw away anything except what you're cutting off on these here metal legs. Just throw those away; they're no good. So that is my tripod. That's what I'm carrying, and it goes right in the side of my pack. Right in the side of my pack, just like your tent poles would normally go on your backpack. But for 11 ounces, you got a real nice, sturdy tripod. Now you can also, if it's a windy day, you're on a ridge, you're on a bald or something, and you're trying to get a nice shot. you set up your tripod and you want to go over there and do your pose or whatever. When you open this up, you can hang a water jug here. All you need is a little piece of string, or you can hang something heavy. You get something in your backpack to hold this thing down. So if it's a windy day, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is going to be pretty steady, even unless you're in a 50-mile-an-hour wind, gusty wind or something, you might have an issue. But 20, 30-mile-an-hour wind, this thing should hold if you have weight hanging from the center of this tripod. It's not going to go anywhere. So there's an idea for you. This is a little project that you might want to do. Simple, cheap, inexpensive, light. So let me know what you think of this. Leave comments. Again, now I want to remind you, you can leave comments on YouTube. I'll read them, but I'm not going to respond to the YouTube. It's just a hassle. I'd rather respond to the emails. So go to the emails of Backpacker, Eastern Backpacking at Outlook.com, and Paws on the Trail at Outlook.com. Okay, if you want to ask a question, I'm going to be looking for questions too, so I'm going to be doing some Q&As, and this way here I can accumulate questions, and I will do a video to answer them all down the trail, down the path here a little bit at some future date. All right, let me shut this off, turn the camera around, and show you the gear that I'm taking. That will be part of my video gear, all the electronics, which I don't have too many, but let me show you what I have, and it'll give you an idea if you're going to go out there. Now, if you're not going to vlog, all you need is your phone. All you need is your phone. This happens to be the Samsung Note 8, and I have the Moment case on here, and I also use the Moment lenses. I carry 3 lenses, which really do a nice job. You'll see the photos. If you go to my TR, no, I didn't do that on it. I really haven't been on a long trip with these lenses yet. I've been playing with them, but they've been taken excellent. Yes, I have. I did a couple of short trips in the whites not too long ago. So you can, if you go to my page, go to videos, scroll down, look at the last couple of trips I did. You'll see the photos I've taken with the Moment lens. Really, it's just like having a full-fledged DSL camera. So anyway, this is what I'm using for my camera. And if this is all you're going to use, that's fine. Get yourself a battery bank. Now the battery banks, here's a little tip for you. You want to get the latest. It's called 3.0. That's the latest fast charging equipment out there. That you don't want the 2.0s. It's a slow charge. At the time they were advertising it as the latest, fastest, because it was. Now they've upgraded and they've come out with the 3.0s, and it is fast. These are the 3.0 battery banks. This is Rave Power. These are 10,000 milliamps. I have back in the other room a 20 Rave. I've always used the Rave Power because I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any problems with them. I have the 26,000 milliamp, but it's the 2.0. It takes 12 hours to fully charge that thing. When you're on the trail, yeah, that's fine if you're going to be at a hostel and you're the only one there and you're using the outlet, or you're in a restaurant and if you can leave it plugged in for 12 hours, then you'll be all set. Usually that's not the case. You only have a few hours and then you got to move on, or somebody else wants to use the outlet. If you're in an area where power is limited. These here only take 2 to 3 hours to fully charge. So I have 2 of these. I carry 20,000 milliamps of reserve power. And then I also carry the 3.0 charger with the dual outlets are 3.0. A lot of them online, only the top one is 3.0, and then they go back to the old technology for the others. You can get as many as 4 outlets. but those bottom 3 are going to be 2.0, and they're not going to give you the fast charge. So make sure when you go and get your wall outlet right here, your converter to charge your electronics with the USB inserts, make sure that they're both 3.0, and that will give you the fastest charge possible, especially on the new phones and the new battery banks. Okay. So again, these only take me about 2-3 hours to charge fully. And if you're in town shopping, you should be able to find a spot, even if it's behind the counter at one of the stores. You can ask them, hey, can I charge my cell bank? I'll be back in an hour, I'm gonna shop. And they'll put it behind the counter and charge it for you while you're shopping, and you can probably sneak out and go to other stores and come back later to pick it up. Or you just leave it in the hostel, but I don't usually leave my electronics unless I'm there. These things will grow legs and they'll disappear on you if you start leaving the stuff hanging around. It seems to be a problem lately. I've been reading about gear disappearing. I just read a story where somebody just lost it. This was last year. They lost, a couple of people lost their backpacks. So be mindful on where you're leaving your stuff. So that's the scoop on the charging end of it. Let me show you what I've done over there. And this is working out really. I'm excited about this. I have a couple of these eye tracks. They're GPS, Wi-Fi transmitters. They're alarms. They're motion alarms. And a lot of people, you buy these online. I got this brand on Amazon. And they're cheap. They're like $8, I think. $8 or $10 for these. I got 2 of them. Because food bags are disappearing now too. You know, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, I have one in my food bag, and then I have one in my backpack. And you can set, and you get an app, and it's all run by Bluetooth. On your app, you can either have it activated as motion or zone. Zone would be you put an invisible circle around you. You can make it whatever you want, 100 feet, a half a mile, whatever you want. And if that piece of equipment moves or goes beyond that invisible fence you have, the alarm goes off. This is kind of loud, but your phone will wake up everybody. Your phone, I mean, you can set your volume on it, but I have it set up for motion. So if I'm in a store or restaurant and you got to leave your pack outside, I just hit the activation button on my app, and if my backpack moves more than like 1.5 feet, the alarm goes off. If my food bag moves 1.5 feet, you know, if a bear or if somebody else is moving food bags around or is moving your food bag, the alarm will go off. I really like this. It's cheap. It's a little security. Unfortunately, times that there's so many people on the trail now, and people who really can't afford it. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see people out there that are just scrimping, trying to get by to stay on the trail. I have, you know, it's just something you got to do now. You got to think about it. It's not rampant yet, but it's starting. You're reading more and more as every year, every hiking season that goes on. You're reading more and more, and I think it's just because more people are getting on the trail, and the undesirables are just percentage-wise are increasing because the whole hiking community is increasing. There's just nothing you can do about it. So I'm taking a few precautions here. So anyway, something you can think about. You know, something, and plus I stealth camp a lot, and I've had bear come right up to me when I stealth camp, and they're getting very bold. They're you know, they know what a food bag looks like, and when I have my food up in a tree, if it's 100 yards away from me, at least if something is swatting at it or something's trying to get at it at night, this thing will go off and I can, will wake me and I can shoo away whatever is giving me a problem. Because I do not want to be 3 days from a town and have some critter eat all my food. I mean, I won't die in 3 days without food, but it'll be very unpleasant. So something again to think about. I don't, just something, just what I'm planning on. So let me turn this around. I'll go through what I have here on my little table, and I'll show you the other little bits of equipment that I'm taking. Okay, so hang in there. Okay, I'm back. Let me show you what I have here. All right, I showed you the 2 Rave Power battery banks that are right here. They come with a little pouch, and then they come with your little cable to whatever fits your phone. So I have 2 of these, and I have them numbered too. I have them 1, and then this one is numbered number 2, so I can keep track of which one I'm using and which one needs to be recharged when I get into a area where I can recharge them, and then I keep this here with them. I use the GoPro and my Note 8 for recording, but mostly the GoPro. Just because I mount it right here, it's just an instant button on, off. It just works out very well for me. And so I have, and the battery power on these things, they consume power quite a bit. Usually I get away with 1 of these a day. These are the little batteries it takes. So 1 a day, maybe 1.5 if I'm doing a lot of videoing, and especially if I'm doing a time lapse, and then it just sucks the battery power right out of these things. So basically I have 1 in the camera now, and then I have 3, 6, 7, I have 8, so I have 9. I have a total of 9 batteries, basically 9 days worth of power here, just with the camera and the batteries. Because I really don't want to, 1 of these I want to use for my phone, and then basically in my mind I have a backup. So if I'm running a couple of days late because of weather, or there's just a longer span in between hostels or towns where I can recharge, I want that spare, because everything is on my phone, my apps, my maps, which are in gut hooks. I also have the AT companion guide. I'm going to get into this a little bit later too. I just downloaded it yesterday. They made it available online to 2019. So I have the whole guidebook in here, and I downloaded it. It comes to you in a PDF file. So a PDF file you can send to your Kindle account. All Kindle accounts have their own specific email address. So you can email yourself, and whatever you email yourself goes into your Kindle account. And when you go into your Kindle, you're going to see what you sent yourself. I send myself all kinds of stuff, articles, especially lists, the companion, the guide, the whole guide, the 300 and something pages, whatever it is. It's all on here. I have all my books on here, so I don't want to lose, well, I'm not going to lose it, but I don't want to lose power on this thing, because I rely on it quite a bit. So that's what the second battery bank does. That's my savings, I guess, in power. So we got the battery power squared away. Okay, now we're going to get into, and then this is my little charger. This charges 2 GoPro batteries at the same time. So by having a double, I can have my phone maybe charging, and then I can have two GoPro batteries charging at the same time. And then I have the Garmin Phoenix watch, and this is the charger for my watch. I can go a week if I'm using the GPS on it. I have to charge it every other day. But if it's just the altimeter and all the other functions other than the GPS, I can go 10 days or so with this here. So this is my other charge for my watch, which I could probably put into one and have the GoPro or the phone on the other one and just leave it plugged in the wall. So that's another little charger I have. So these, again, this here is the GoPro charge. And then I have my specific cable for my phone that will go into here. Then I have my headphones. I don't really use the headphones while I'm hiking. I use the headphones while I'm in my tent or in my hammock, and I just lay there and I do all my editing on my phone. That's the other thing too, is I have CyberLink Power Director, and I have the mobile version, and that's all my videos I do. That's what I do it all on the CyberLink, and it's all on my phone. So I put the earplugs on in my tent, and I can, you know, I can edit and do my videos at night while I'm winding down. So that's the only time I use the headphones, so I don't have the volume up blowing throughout the campsite and disturbing everybody. And then this here little gizmo this plugs into my phone, and this is a USB adapter. And I have all my SD cards. I have a terabyte worth of storage here. I was using those little external memories. They're heavy. They're really heavy. And they're not, the ones I have 3 of them, and I've gotten screwed by all 3 of them. They're supposed to be a terabyte. They come, I go into my file folder. I go to the external bank or memory, and they show 300 megabytes. I have one that's supposed to be 5 terabytes. It's only 800 megabytes. It's like, what is this? So I got rid of those. Well, I didn't get rid of them, but I'm not bringing them on the trail. They're too heavy, and they're not giving me what I want for storage. The best thing I found so far are the little SD I have. I have 128 megabytes, 256 megabytes. I have like 4 of the 256s. I have, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the 200 megabytes and a couple of the 128s. So I have about a whole terabyte worth of storage. It should get me through the trip. And as I fill them, I can just put them in an envelope and send them home or something. But I gotta get it off my phone. My phone won't hold that kind of media. So every couple of days, I purge my phone. After I do a video, I download the whole video onto an SD card for my main backup. Because I want this for future use. I'm videoing this for myself and for the family for future use. And you're just benefiting by this by seeing it now as I'm doing it. So that's what this little thing is. It only weighs a couple of ounces, but it takes the full size SD card, and it also takes the mini SD card. Really, it is super easy on your phone. These phones are like mini computers. Whatever I can do on my computer, I can do just about on this thing. So that's what that's for, okay? And then again, you saw all my little SD cards here. Now I have a little light case coming for SD cards. It has little slots for it. It hasn't come in yet. It was only $8, and it weighs 2 ounces. So these here will be, I don't want these things sliding around in this plastic for 6 months. I don't think it's a good thing for them. So that when that comes, I'll replace it with the plastic for the nice sleeves, individual sleeves to store these. And so let's get into the tripod. You saw the other tripod that I'm using now. This is a mini that I use, and the camera slides right on here, and this thing sits right here. This is how it is on my backpack, and then all I gotta do is hit that top button. That's instant on and off, whatever I have it set to, either photos or video. All right, sorry there, it just timed out on me. So again, this is my man photo. It's a nice, you hit the little button right here, and this thing can swivel anywhere you want. You release it and it locks it in nice and strong. I like this. This here works out good. And then for this, I can either put my phone on here. This is my little phone adapter, and this will also fit on the tripod, so I can use the phone on a tripod if I want. That's about, and then now I have my little miscellaneous bag here. Let me show you what's in here. This is a little foam bag here. It only weighs a couple of ounces, but yeah, I keep saying only. Already I've talked about 2, 4, 6, probably 6 or 8 ounces of only 2 ounces. Ounces add up, believe me. So here I have my microphone for my GoPro. If it's a real windy day, I just plug this in, and this takes out all the wind, or a good portion of the wind out of my videoing. For my night shots, because I plan on doing some pre-morning sunrise and late evening hikes, this is my cube. It's a light cube, so that I can, and it's my backup hiking light for on the trail. I have my headlamp, Petzl headlamp, with 2 batteries, they're USB batteries, right here, these here little tiny batteries. And if I run low or I run out of power, this is my backup light to get me through the trail at night. But this is used mainly for doing nighttime video shots, you know, backlighting, and then you get a couple of these foam little diffusers so you don't get that bright spotlight. This kind of puts a glow on the object that you're trying to focus on. And then over here on this side, I showed you I have 2 of these here trackers. And then I have my remote for my phone. So I usually set up the tripod. It used to be the little one, now it will be that big one. And I set up where I'm going to be standing on a vista or something. I head over there to do my pose, and then I just hit this button. It will be somewhere in my palm of my hand or whatever. I hit the button, and the camera, either the GoPro or my phone camera, will take the picture instead of having to do a 15 or 30 second timer. And now you got to count in your head while you're trying to get set up and run over there to get in position. You can take your time, and when you're in position, you just hit the button and it takes a picture. Or the video, you hit it again and it shuts off. So that's what this is. It's a little remote that works with my phone. That goes right in there. What else is in here? That's about it. What's this? I have a spare mount for my GoPro. So that's it. That's the only electronics. I'm going to weigh this all up here in a bag. I weighed it a while ago, but I've added a couple of different things. I've added this little pouch right here to keep my miscellaneous objects consolidated. It weighed about 1.5 pounds. So it's not too bad considering what I'm carrying. And but it's, for me, this is what's going to keep me from going insane on the trail. There's going to be a lot of walking and a lot of probably solitude. So this is how I get out of that. Is I take a lot of photos. I look for opportunities and things to come up with good shots. So it's my way of getting through the trail without going crazy. Okay, I think that's it for this episode. Any questions, again, leave your comments down below. I'll read them. And if you have any questions, go back over to my email address. Everything will be listed at the bottom of this video. And we'll talk to you later, okay? Be safe. Stay warm this winter. Enjoy our episode, okay? Later.